state and local government is very important to what we do, because without the permits, we cannot use a park like this, right? So we need your support too. So that's why we're here. And my name is Nico. I'm from Charlotte, the Queen City. And I'm really, really excited to be part of this event, the media event. And as you will notice, the panel is made up of past presidents and current presidents, and of course the chapter president. I'll start off with the president of the Minnesota chapter for the veterans, Mr. Bertrand Munki, who is right here. You've already met him, I'm sure. And then the two past presidents of the National Veterans Tournament FA, Football Association. I'll mention in order of service, if I can use that term, right? Dennis Nkeh, President Dennis Nkeh. He was president for 2 years, right? And he helped push this organization to where we got to a point where we could actually welcome more than 20 teams. So it's a huge achievement, because when the NVT started, we had just 4 teams. Believe me or not, the first one had just 4 teams. So we've gone a long ways from 2015 to now, where we are at 40 teams, and with 2 in the waiting room. All right, next to him is none other than it's a Charles Yankum. He is the current Emeritus president. He just left office and made way for none other than Mr. Valentine Esaka, whom I'm sure you've met and you heard from today. So we're really pleased to have you guys. Now, I want to talk about this special man right here, because without him, this would not be happening. He is the person in charge of the public relations for the organization, and he's helped put this together. And this is none other than Mr. Dennis Nyambi. So I just noticed the other president walked in, Mr. Tongwa, Mbecha. Thank you so much. So gentlemen, thank you so much for giving us these few minutes. I know you want to get to the field, but I thought it was important to have, since we have local government and state government and federal government, we could get them to ask you a few questions about what they just witnessed outside. What is the NVT? What is all of this about? I'm sure there's some paperwork online they can find, but it would be nice to hear from you. So I will be aided today by the beautiful Olivia Carey from San Antonio Veterans. San Antonio Veterans has been in existence from 2017. So that's how far it goes. So I don't want to talk too much. Dennis, do you have a word for our guests or anybody here?
No, I just wanted to thank all of them for being here. Thank you all for being here and for all the support, because this is by far the best facility we have had this tournament in. And we have gone to, what, this is the 9th state, and this is by far the best facility. We thank all of you from the great state of Minnesota for putting this at our disposal. And we'll make sure that we leave this place the way we met it, so we can come back here in the future.
That's right.
So, I will not say too much. I want you to go ahead and start with the questions. Yes.
All right, perfect. So I'll give the first question to Olivia, because she's been preparing, so trust me. I'll give her the microphone. First question.
All right. Thank you so much, Nico. I appreciate it. Thank you all. We're so excited to be here in Minnesota, and this is a great opportunity for us to know what NVT is all about, right? So my first question goes to current President Valentine Esaka. I know you just took over. I was there at the hall in Atlanta, so this is your first NVT as the president. So how prepared are we for this tournament this year?
Well, we're very prepared, extremely prepared for this tournament this year with the help of President for VetStar President. We did our homework. He came to us and told us what we needed, all the stuff that we needed, we put it in place. Just a little point of clarification. I'm a Minnesotan, so I had to make sure this is all prepared, very, very prepared. I'm not leaving home dirty, all right? So we're here, and everyone is going to really enjoy being here with us, but we're extremely prepared for this. The rain blessed us yesterday, but today we're good to go. Thank God for the weather.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I know Nico mentioned that already, but this is growth we're seeing here. We're talking about 40 teams. When it started, we were just a handful, four teams, and now I'm hearing that there are waiting lists and stuff like that. So I know it's going to, keep adding, right? Is there a plan for that?
When I came in, we had 38, and we're going to be going down to 32 to make it easier, because most of the facilities that we go to cannot accommodate all of us. But I'm one of those guys who think that growth is better. Bring more people in, we grow together, we will meet more people in the society so we can learn and teach each other how we're supposed to live together. So I decided and pushed for 40 team. I would love to push for 44, but I have to go through these gentlemen. They're all checks and balances here. I can't do it all alone, but I would love it to grow more. There are more other Cameroonians all over, and when you get out there, you're going to see that it's not only Cameroonians that are here, it's everybody. We invited everybody to participate. You just have to be 35 years and older. No 34, just 35. Yeah, I was talking to the congressman, and he was asking me if, is it 35 years and above, that's it? And I happened to tell him that, yes, that's it. But the way he asked the question, it seems like, may I call you Michael? He wanted to play.
Thank you. Thank you
The
so
opposition
much.
would like that.
Yeah, let me just conclude by, this might not go directly to you, but any President Emeritus that can give us the story, how we all started, because I know everyone is curious to know about the National Veterans Tournament. There's a lot happening here, so much friendship, joy, entertainment. How did this come up? If there's a good story about it, like a brief one. I know we don't have time, but
I have my story, but I have this gentleman that I came after all of them.
Sure.
I would like to throw it to them because they have, they can say what they have to say, and then if I have to add anything, I will add, but I would respectfully give this to them.
Thank you. Who has a good story? All right, thank you.
I'll
Thank
give
you
it
so
to
much.
the podium. Not on English.
Good morning, gentlemen. Yes, we started with, we had a Maryland club, the Maryland Veterans Club, so I was president at this time.
Speak louder, please.
Okay, 2014. And at the time, he was my member. Okay? He was my member as well. So we had a foreign policy, like traveling and visiting other people. But at that time, we didn't have enough organized veteran clubs. If they were organized, but they were not, So we decided to visit Atlanta. At the time, he has been publicity secretary forever. So he was the first publicity secretary. And we ran all this. He was under the national executive as well. So when we visited Atlanta, we visited his branch. And at that time, he has moved to Arlington. So when we visited Dallas, we decided to run to Arlington and created the Arlington Veterans. So the growth started from there, Then 2 years came, I was supposed to step down, and he took over for continuity, and that's how we grew. And then after his 2 years, the main man for the growth is this one. He brought in a lot of professionalism in the whole thing. And today we sing the results, and trust me, all of us are very happy because what we sing today actually was a dream. We didn't dream low. We had dreamt it since 2014 for it to be like this. And you see why it's growing, the growth 40 and more. If you go by our constitution, we had accepted and we decided that we'll open it for, we didn't actually want to limit participation. We wanted a situation where Cameroonians, particularly males, will meet every year and we share fun and happiness and what have you. So that's how it all started.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Olivia. Thank you so much. Those were some good questions there. Promoting healthy lifestyles, diversity and inclusion, and of course, responsible citizenship. Those are some of the things that guide this whole development process for the NVT. And I'm sure you all have some questions for the presidents that are here, the past presidents, the current president, and the chapter president, the VetStar president. So I will give you guys the opportunity, if anybody has a question from the displays you witnessed to anything that we may have said or you may have heard that makes you, a little curious, I would like to give you the floor. Okay, thank you.
Hi there, I'm Matt Norris. I represent this area in the Minnesota House of Representatives. Thanks for coming to Minnesota. We're so pleased to have you here playing this beautiful game here in our state and here in Blaine in particular. Soccer or football is often considered kind of a young person's game. So talk to me about the benefits of getting older folks to play this game in such large numbers. And as someone who just turned 35 myself and would qualify, I'm wondering, do you have enough doctors and athletic trainers available for the injuries that people my age and older would experience playing soccer?
Perfect. Thank you. Who wants to take the question? Okay. Yeah.
State Rep, thank you so much for that question, and again, thank you all for inviting us or accepting to host us in this wonderful state of Minnesota and this wonderful city of Blaine. To go straight to your question, we all know that exercise is medicine. It is the best medicine, and it was uncovered, obviously, along the years, and the initiators of this organization that the older folks are becoming, forgive me for using that word, couch potatoes. And various illnesses start setting in as people start living sedentary lives. And so initiating this and pulling the population or the group of the community that are 35 and above helps them to come out, do some exercise, hang out with their friends, try to de-stress. Because we're in an environment where you're working very hard, it can get very, very stressful, and different illnesses can set in. So it's actually more important to invite the older folks to be able to come out, do a little bit of exercise, and so that we can reduce the number of times they are taken to the emergency rooms, how many people get taken to the emergency rooms, and so that we all can live healthier, longer lives. And so that's the intent of doing that for people that are above 35 years of age. And you will realize that for the competition itself, 35 and above is what it requires. There is also going to be what we call a gala game, a golden game, where we're looking at people that are around that 50 years old. And that's also a very enjoyable tournament, that to watch, an enjoyable game, because it's important to see those who have played the game in the past and are now coming just to do it for the purpose of good health. So that's our objective. Exercise is medicine, and we want to make sure our community is living a healthy and a healthy and strong life so that they can live healthier and longer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
I just wanted to also add, because you said something about injuries or insurance. We do carry insurance for these games. You know who we are. We have a medic tent that is going to help us, and we know that with the city of Blaine, everything is just around here. 911 is not too far. They're waiting for us, but we'll try not to get any. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the answers. The other part of all of this is when you see a large gathering of people, you can't help but think economic impact, economic activity being stimulated in the local area. I'm very sure there's a question coming related to that. So who wants to take this turn? All right. There you go.
Hi, everybody. Senator Michael Kroon, representing this area in the state Senate. I've met, I believe, everybody in here, so thank you so much for coming again. In addition to the economic impact, as you're talking about, it sounds like this is an event that's right now primarily of Cameroon culture, but it sounds like you're trying to expand that a little bit. And as you go into these new communities with this tournament, what's your experiences been like sharing your culture, having the cultures shared together, and how do you see that progressing into the future?
Okay, this is Bertrand, the president of the host club, VetStar, of Minnesota. So that's a very good question, because in my club that is almost 9 years old, some of the pioneer people in the executives are Nigerians. So from a club perspective, what I can say meeting other clubs is it's very diverse. It is Cameroonian from origin, from the creation, but it's now very open in other states where they do have other people from other communities who are pretty much very excited to learn our culture as we learn theirs, and then we share that game of soccer. So it's been very, very welcoming. in our vendor village here, we are about 50% of the people, the vendors here are not Cameroonians. They are Liberians, they are Nigerians, and they know about this tournament. Even some of the players, they come from other cultures, other countries, and they just help participate in, and they've been asking. So I think that will be something in the process in the future as we go along to see how we can absorb other cultures that could say, okay, we have a soccer team, but it's not Cameroonian origin, but we want to participate. These fine leaders that we've had over the years will look into that and then maybe give a way forward.
And in terms of the economic impact, because you did mention something about it, so it's an expanding process. We started very small, and the focus at the time was mostly on activities that were related to football and playing football.
Soccer.
Now we are going, well, we call it football. I'm sorry, soccer. So we are expanding and going now to, taking some of that energy that leadership has around football and moving it to other cultural activities, like the dancing that Minnesota so gracefully offered us. We are going into different kinds of things that are not only football, and I'm hoping that as we keep growing, we are going to take like 40% of all the energy we put in football activities and move them to more culturally related activities. When we left Atlanta last year, there was an estimate that the economic impact of the tournament was over $7 million from Atlanta, and it was a much smaller, we had about 36 teams in Atlanta, and now we have 40 teams. So we are expecting that we'll leave a bigger economic impact in the city of Blaine in terms of the hotels and the restaurants and just everything that is related to the tournament.
Thank you. Oh, one more. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, and one other thing I wanted to clarify based on or to add, based on the question from the senator, is that the name of the organization is NVT FA, National Veterans Tournament USA Football Association, not Cameroonian by any definition. And you'll be hard pressed to find a club that does not have Americans and people from other countries. So it is really, all inclusive. It's not anything associated only with Cameroon. Now you have the influence of the Cameroonian culture based on pure majority in the organization, and that's where that comes from. And what I also wanted to add is that this organization has also initiated what we call NVT Foundation, National Veterans Tournament Foundation. And the purpose is to give back to our community, give back to the underprivileged in our community. And our PRO here and our NVT Foundation chairman, they're actually starting a drive during this event, during this 2024 NVT event, to collect some items that will help to cater for some of the people in our communities that are underprivileged, and at the end of the day, trying to improve on our communities so that we can lift everybody up to have a better life in the community. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Any other questions?
Again, thank you so much for being here and for choosing our community. We're also a growing community, and so actually starting in just a couple of weeks, we're actually building a very large entertainment district, heart of the city, right north of the soccer, actually on the same, just a little bit east of where you're playing. So we'll be adding hotels and restaurants and other amenities, and so we'd love to have you back in a couple of years as well. But no, we truly appreciate that. In fact, our football season, our college football season started last night. If anyone wants to go back to college and kick a ball through uprights, we can probably get you a tryout. We won't talk more about that now. One of the things you guys, I think, have all alluded to it a little bit, but I'm wondering if someone, or maybe each of you, talk a little bit about maybe kind of the founding mission and vision of NVT, and then maybe has it morphed? Where is it today, and where do you see this club maybe 5 years, or this organization really 5 years from now?
Beautiful question. Thank you so much for that question.
So when it started, it was like the president Dennis mentioned, it was just a group of people that wanted to play football. And we came together, we started with a visit to Atlanta and a few different cities, And then at some point we realized that there was power in numbers, and that if we came together consistently, then we could create something whereby would open up to a lot of different clubs. And we saw that in the first edition in Maryland, we just had 4 teams. And then second edition in Atlanta, we had 7. The numbers kept going up, and then we got to a point when President Yankum took over the presidency. It's actually when we had a blowout. That also started including a bigger marketplace. Like if you go over there now, you'll see a marketplace where you can buy artwork, jewelry from Africa, all those things, we have them in the marketplace. And that's when all that blew out. Where we see this organization going forward is we are trying to have more impact. And I think that, like I mentioned before, we are trying to take about 40% of the focus on football and footballing activities to community-related activities. So we have a sneakers drive today, and it's going to not just end here, it's going to go into our different cities, whereby every month we'll collect any old sneakers that people have at home and then send them back to Africa, because we all get clocked a lot of stuff that we end up throwing away. So there are a lot of people that really need those shoes. They go around bare feet, we are picking them up. We're also going to be doing medical missions, taking doctors from here, going back over there to do complicated surgeries and processes that the doctors over there don't know how to do or don't have the equipment to. So we are growing wider and wider, and we are expanding our offering in terms of the different things that we do to give back and impact our different communities. Yeah.
Thank you for the question. So you all probably noticed we have Olivia with us today. Not a lot of ladies play the soccer games that we have. I'm sure there's a question related to that, but there is a vision, I'm sure, and I just want to give the leaders an opportunity to talk to how we are involving other demographies in our tournament. So anybody want to take that question? The role of women, kids, because we do have kids soccer camps and all the other things in the various states, right? So somebody maybe just talk about that. Women and kids. And women, yeah.
I can talk about it. It's okay. So we will notice that every team is unique in the way they function. You will have teams that travel with their families. You will have teams that will travel just the men. And this dynamics is actually what makes it interesting. And I think there's actually a prize for the best fan club. So that's why you see some come start fighting for that prize right at the March pass. And it depends again on any team, their own structure. NVT USA doesn't have like a standard guideline that tells team how they have to organize. They do have just the soccer part and the rules that you have to follow and adhere. But in terms of your team composition, in terms of kids, or your wives or partners, we do not, but I will speak for VetStar. We, here in the state of Minnesota, we bring our kids to our practice session. The reason is we want them to see what we're doing as their dad so that they can continue that in the nearest future. Where we practice in the city of Fridley, we do have a younger under 35 team that has also an association, and they will move from there when they're 35, they start applying to join us. So that is just to keep that continuity in terms of the kids seeing what we're doing, knowing that when we're not there tomorrow, you can continue this way. One of our objectives of doing this was also to have them have something to do, because when they're idle, they're doing something that they're not supposed to do. When they come to us and play soccer, then they're away from staying in trouble. And in our club, we do have members, and I don't know, like again, every club is structured differently. We do have honorary members that are medical doctors that will come and talk to us at 35, going to 50 about colonoscopy, the things that we need to do, healthy eating. We do have some attorneys in immigration, the law, that will come and give us talk. We've got to be peaceful, law-abiding citizen. We do have all that will create workshops within our club. Then they come and talk to us and give us the advice and tell you where resources are. We do have also people that tell us the resources where you need help, where you can go in terms of job. We share our experiences. Somebody found a job here, they come and tell you how to train and apply. And We do those little things apart from this, but the soccer is the core thing that brings us together to be able to do all these things.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any more questions? All right, so we're good. All right, maybe just give everybody an opportunity to say one or two things before we go. Yeah.
I want to thank.
Volume, please.
I just want to thank Senator and the rest of the state
Tongwa.
who are here. Yeah, who are here, and thank the VetStar for inviting us to the community that we have today. I just wanted to add that one of the missions, like what you asked earlier, is, us coming together, networking between one another. Because as we come, the previous NVT tournaments we have attended, you have like, if you go like to the NVT village, you will see like, umbrellas there, tents, where you have people who are telling, inviting people there to tell them about jobs, or you have IT workers who also come there just to explain certain things to them. And so in doing so, is helping our community, especially young folks, know exactly what is going on. And if they are interested in some of those professions, they can get more information and get into it. So networking is one very important when it comes to NVT. So this is something that is growing, and it will keep growing. We don't know what the future holds, but we just believe that tomorrow this thing will will really blow out in a way that we don't understand. But again, thank you all.
Thank you.
One of our shortcomings has been sponsorship. We've been running this since 2014, just communities, the community that's running it. So it's based on personal time and money. We've been trying to get that sponsorship since 2014. And that is our major obstacle of growth. And we think if we can handle that, we can get that, I think we'll get to where actually we need to be. Because coming here every year it comes from people's pocket, and then the leadership, everything is more of, you are voluntary. It's more voluntary. So up to this time, I want to appreciate everyone who has been in this effort, because nobody is getting paid. Nobody is getting paid. But all we've been doing has been very successful, and I'm very happy the community appreciate that. So that has been our major low, and we think with time we can solve that.
All right, before you spoke about sponsorship, I wanted to talk about continuation of what you said. We have Sam's Club in the local Sam's Club. They have also helped us this time. This is the first time we had NVTs having a little bit of sponsors from outside. They will be here so we can, they will talk about themselves so we can obviously buy into Sam's Club. And it will help not just here, wherever we go with that particular business. We have Cup Food as well that I spoke to, and they are also here. Hopefully they'll give us more food. So we've tried to get the community involved so we can also spend the money to the community and try to grow ourselves in every way we can. So that's what I wanted to add in that note. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Obviously, we are more than grateful that you've given us your time. You spent the morning with us, enjoyed the dance. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know some of you will go home and try to practice in front of the mirror. Don't worry, come back next year and we'll do it again, all right? So thank you so much for being here. It's such a pleasure having you, and thank you so much for the questions. very, very happy. I know the gentlemen up here were very, very excited to talk to you about what the NVT FA, or Football Association, is all about. And there are many more partnership opportunities that we can work out together, but it's an amazing, amazing experience to be here in Blaine. So thank you all so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for making time to talk to us. I know the games are ongoing, so I want to hand over back to my boss here, Dennis, to close us out. Thank you again so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot to say anymore. We have not exhaustively answered all the questions. I'm sure some questions have stayed in the stomach, but we have to get to the footballing activities. And gentlemen, there's some coffee right behind you if you, yes. So we continue to try to engage our different communities. We continue to try to engage potential sponsors. Just water, giving some water for all the teams and the spectators. It's you're going to see thousands and thousands of people just watching the games. Some just come to eat food that they have not eaten for long, getting cooked right there, coming from the pot and to your plate. So it's going to be, I would love you guys to take a look around, just go around and see what's going on. Maybe try some of the food as well. It's going to be a beautiful experience for you. We don't have any much more. What we want to do is thank you for giving us this time, the opportunity, this magnificent facility. And we look forward to coming back here and still getting the opportunity to use this facility one more time. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.